Alright, welcome to my Demon Souls Remake 1.0 speedrun commentary video. For this, I will be going over my current PB, my 4021, I believe, and just reviewing all the things I do in the run, all the skips, and why I do this and that, to just have some run out there that's helpful for anyone who doesn't know what's going on. It does share similarities with a lot of the other runs because all of them are magic route at the moment for the most part, at least the optimal routes. But I am playing the 1.0 patch of the game, which you can only play if you have the disc version of the game, not the digital, unfortunately. If you prefer to run the current patch version, I'm going to recommend this video by my bud Gidano. He did one of these videos recently as well for that patch. I'll put it in the description. This isn't a flawless run. This isn't even my current goal. I want a sub 40 first before I move on to something else. But it actually is an okay representation of the run, I find. I think all the skips were shown fairly decently, so I do want to just go ahead and make a video now to just kind of go over all the things I do in the run and why, and hopefully maybe more people will join. By the way, I don't say this a lot, but if you are a fellow Demon Souls cultist, you love this game a lot, especially when it comes to speedrunning, of course, as you might have guessed by now, you should consider subscribing. I definitely want to focus my channel mostly around Demon Souls at the moment, and maybe occasionally some other Souls games, but definitely love this game. I'm having a lot of fun with the remake, and I have a lot of video ideas for the future and for the next couple weeks. So just this once, if you appreciate this content and you find it educational or just helpful in any way, consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. Alright, let's get started. So, for the class, we are going to start with Magician. For the starting gift, we're going to start with Firebombs. I would recommend turning off the looks items because those aren't allowed for the submissions. And obviously face and name don't matter at all. As far as we know, the body type doesn't have any major effect. I think I heard that maybe it affects the lava skip a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's still possible to do with either. But I think body type for the 1.0 body type A is the one that works better here. I think in current patches B, they switch them around. Yeah, skip cutscene of course as always. You want to do that as part of any percent speedrun, and then go immediately into the 1-1. Remember to skip all the cutscenes, of course. And yeah, let's get going. So, some basic things you should probably know if this is like your first speed game or something for Beat Souls. Stamina management is going to be very important for this. Basically, all you want to do is run until you're about to deplete, but not quite depleted. Let go of the button to run, and then start running when the bar is about to reach full, to the point where by the time you do start running, you should already be full, basically. Hopefully that makes sense, just a short explanation. The first item we're going to grab here is a Firebombs. You're going to need that for the boss. That's should be 10, I think, total now. No, 11, maybe? I don't remember. We'll see. For the first boss, Phalanx. They're going to be very useful. First boss, Phalanx, is very, very weak to fire. You'll also be getting the fire buff, fire resin, whatever it's called in this game, turpentine in the old game. But not actually for this boss, it's going to be for something else later. Okay, so here's the first little thing I should probably describe a little bit. So this little skip right here it looks pretty simple, and it kind of is. But it is a little tricky to get consistently. So what I would recommend is standing right at the edge and then pointing your camera towards the wall on the left. So pointing your camera this way into the wall here. This probably isn't the best example, but I still pull it off. That way you can just roll forward. You would just be facing the wall, and all you have to do is move forward and roll forward. That should get you past the boulder fairly reliably, I think. That's how I found to do it the most reliably so far. If I don't mess with the camera, it's maybe a little bit you have to aim your character a little bit sideways or to diagonally, and it's a little bit awkward. So maybe just point the camera first, and then maybe have the boulder a little bit in view so you can see it coming, and then roll forward is all. You're going to be abusing iframes for this. You're going to just iframe the boulder damage and get past it. You will use that strat a little bit later in the run as well. But that isn't a tech thing you do. You just iframe some things to get past them. Cross this fog gate, drop down, roll through here really quick because this guy's gonna drop a firebomb and is gonna blow everything up. Then keep going. Don't follow like me. Okay, and hit these rocks or these boulders from the thing. I usually hit it like towards it. Like I actually like try to get in front of it and do a running attack towards it and hit the planks. But I roll away immediately so I can do that. Then next, if I have any health missing, no matter how little, I'll usually pop a heal and then quickly go into menu, put my catalyst on my left hand, my second slot on this left hand, and next to your bind somewhere. I personally put it at the very last slot. And then as you're finishing that up, if you're doing it quickly enough, it should be right about the time that you need to run back or keep running. In 1.0, this dragon is very loud, so you can hear it coming pretty easily, but I mean, it's not that necessary, just keep running. I would recommend regaining stamina around here, so you can start getting through everything as good as possible. Maybe regen a little bit in the middle where there's some space. And then, yeah, hopefully enemies behave. That part is definitely the deadliest bit of the run, the dragon bridge. Not because of the dragon, but because the enemies in the way. They can definitely, like, just get you stuck. And then here, turn left, and then go grab this pine resin. That's what they're called. Used to be called turpentine in the original. Just a fire buff. You'll need it for full Zyder later on. One little quick tip I like to give people is that if you are on half HP, I would recommend popping a heal here, right where I'm standing right there, basically. That will actually draw some of the enemies that will be a little annoying here in a sec. A little bit towards the door, but they don't really attack you. Like, it's kind of like aggro, but they don't really do much if you get drawn by the heal. You do need around half health to survive the drop, so if you're anywhere near close to half health, I'll just heal here. Because you're gonna die, most likely. So yeah, that enemy on the right with the spear can sometimes be a little bit rough when you're trying to come by without him being aggroed. And then here, I usually try to drop in this little lip. Just kind of go backwards, go parallel to that, and then just roll. For my routing, you should pick up this half on grass. Depending on what kind of round you do, you don't need to, but personally, I do it. I'll explain why later. And then if you need to heal again, do it after you hit the lever. You can probably do both after you hit the lever, actually, but I personally just, I don't know. Discuss, I do it then. Okay, so for Phalanx, you're gonna chuck fireballs at it. Like, I want to say, like, fairly high up on top of it, so it can, like, spread a bunch of the little guys away from them. Be careful for this guy over here. Is definitely a little annoying sometimes. Some in the left too that are maybe hidden behind a pillar can be annoying. Just chuck out fire bombs, more or less. Do I get a dupe here? I do. Nice. Okay. One little tip here: if you hit the use button for the firebomb at the same time you chuck it, like the last one. Okay, so here, if you press it again one more time, it'll actually dupe it. So you can actually use your loot. You can actually dupe your last firebomb one more time and throw another one. If you just hit it like the perfect time, like as soon as you throw the last one, if you press square there, it'll throw another one. I don't think it's super precise. I think I might have some leeway, but I definitely don't always get it. And then after that, all you gotta do is just flame toss or fire toss, whatever the spell's called. If you have very little HP, you can just like do an R2 or an R1 as well, like just very, very little. It's pretty simple. I've seen other people also do strats where they like maybe keep one or two firebombs in case the little guys actually kind of like block you. So you can like spread them out while you're doing the fireballs or the fire toss. But yeah. Here you're gonna buy a dagger. and just rest the souls in this fresh spice more or less. I may actually cut that out of like if I decide to come back at some point, I want to optimize, I might cut out the fresh spice. You don't actually need them too much, but you don't actually need the souls either. Like the amount you get is very minimal. Go to Dagger running up. And then you're gonna talk to the Monumental, of course. And you only gotta talk to them until you get the cutscene. Like after that, you don't have to talk to them again. You can just like go. This is a little bit of safety strats, obviously, but right there, the item that you just saw is a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. That's one of the most handy ones you can get early on. So if you want to have a safety full health restore, grab it. Otherwise, you just quit out after this. You don't next to your bind because you do need a little bit of souls for something else later. But
just remember this: you're pretty good.
But yeah, so you quit out and then go over to Latria. Thankfully, there's still a skip for this area, but it's actually a lot more powerful than the original Latria skip, like by miles. And it's very simple. It's a lot easier, which is amazing. But it's very simple actually. I don't think there's any tutorial videos on it because it's just that simple. You can probably just like watch what you're doing and kind of describe it to someone. But yeah, so quit out here where you're near the barrels. Or the barrels, the coffins. And then walk into it. And I personally try to stand right here in this intersection, this little like the wider segment of the coffin, and then point like basically a straight line from here to here, and then walk forward. Drop here, maybe roll, just make sure I don't fall off or something, even though I don't think it matters. And then roll off. It's fairly simple. One thing I do need to comment on, and you may notice as you watch a current patch run, compare this one. So what's happening there is that you are actually clipping through the coffins because their collision doesn't load properly for a couple seconds. If you watch a current patch run or like 1.03 or whatever, like anything besides 1.0, you may notice that loaded a lot faster. And that's one of the unfortunate things about 1.0 that makes it a little bit tougher than the other routes. The time frame you have between the collision resuming and the quit out, like coming back from the quit out, is very small. I mean, let's see if I can just count it there. Like 2 seconds, next second and a half, seems like, just for my timer. It definitely makes it hard. For this skip, it's not too bad. You just have to stand really close to it, basically, and then pace through it. But you're gonna feel it a lot in like the Freke skip coming up soon. So but yeah, here pick up this Old Spice, H Spice rather. That's a new name, right? Old Spice is the probably got in trouble with the company or something. Name from the original game. I would just recommend like rolling through these little coffins directly. It actually is not. If he hits you, it's actually not too bad. Just make sure you only get hit once, I guess. But if you just roll through that, you should be okay. And then the arrow trap skip. So I hope you can follow that. Okay, I'll get some tips, but like it's gonna be a little hard to like fully explain everything, I guess. I do have a video on it on the original Demon Souls, if you want to watch that should be fairly thorough. But to get this video out in a timely manner and not too long, like it might be a little bit, might be a little lacking, I guess. But yeah, so what I do personally is start running here. Like I'll get my regen, my stamina, and no matter how much I have or not, I'll start running here more or less, or I guess here, just somewhere on here. And I try to just take the quickest paths forward. Like I go from the corner here to this corner and then cut here, just straight lines. The first one you shouldn't worry about, but you got to roll a second one, of course. You do got to roll a little bit late to be able to make the cycle, basically. Yeah, so you got another one coming here. Yeah, that one you might want to roll a little late. And here, you ideally want to get... Okay, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So, in the Coffin Skip, you will notice that my HP... I took a little bit of fall damage there. That might vary. Sometimes you'll take damage there, or sometimes you won't. I'm not sure exactly what happens. It might just be like the game not registering it. Maybe you iframed it or something. I think it might be like that, actually. Maybe you iframe the damage from the fall sometimes, if you roll. Either way, if that's all the damage you've taken, if you haven't gotten hit by the ball, for example, and you're at about that much HP, or this much, I guess, right there, you want to grab the item, the Clever Rat ring. This is what you're getting. This one, yeah. You want to grab that from the left of the item. So you can see I'm not centered to the item, I'm a little bit to the left. And that results in me taking a considerable amount of damage. That's because I got hit by 2 arrows. The 2 arrows there is what sets some HP. There's no counter hit for this, I'm pretty sure, or anything. It's just the amount of arrows you get. If you took damage from the ball and want to take less damage, let's say like half or so. Oh, half of this. So maybe like 30% of your HP. Stand a little bit more to the right. So maybe like here or something. That way you only take 1 arrow. If you stand too much to the left, like maybe like here, you're probably gonna die because you're gonna hit by 3 arrows. And I mean, same goes for here. Like if you go a little bit too far to the right, you're gonna hit by 2 and then 3 over here. Alternatively, I will say, I mean, just because I'm used to this skip from the original game, the Demon Souls, I know how to do this efficiently. But alternatively, what you could do is pick up the item. The pickup animation for this item actually makes you duck, so you can actually duck the first volley of arrows and roll the second. You just gotta time it along with the arrow. I'll try to show an example now of how you do that. If I can find one in one of my runs or something. That's definitely a lot easier and safer in a lot of cases, and maybe you can just take damage from like the Phantom coming up soon. But yeah, so that's ideally that's what we want to do. Like if you haven't gotten what's happening. So what's happening here is that I am picking up the Clever Rat's ring, but I am also setting up my HP at the same time. So it's a very efficient way to get through this, as you are going to use a Clever Rat's ring here. And you have to. There's no way about this. You actually have to use it to kill the boss coming up. But anyway. Oh, but yeah, so actually, so if you took fall damage on the first floor, they fell down in during the Coffin Skip, if you took damage, you will want to heal with Crescent Moon here if you took the 2 arrows. So if you're at my HP right now, I'm probably gonna heal here in a second. Yeah. Otherwise, like if you only took like the 1 or something and you don't have that low HP, you can just keep going. Or like if you didn't take any fall damage and got hit by 2, you should be okay. As long as you don't take damage from here on, which should be the case. But yeah, keep coming up and go to the guy who revives people. The Fool's Idol. I'm sure you play the game, you know why. No way to skip this, far as we know so far. It would actually be a significant time save if you were to find a way to skip this. I usually equip the Clever Rat ring there, just as I open the door, because there's nothing else you can do, really. You won't be a Clever Rat quite yet, or in some cases, but, you know. I usually wait until I get to the end of the corridor and then kill him, so I can just, like, finish my stamina bar for running and pick up the key at the same time, or right after. And then quit out, because this is technically considered the boss room, so it'll actually put you outside. And then here you're gonna drop. For my routing, you need to pick up the Widow's Lotus here. And be careful of those arrows. I stay quiet there so you can hear the arrows hitting the floor and stuff. Like I usually, since I'm picking up the item, I wait a second so I can hear the second one being shot and then roll off, because it's very dangerous if you roll at any point. I think the first one's even a little delayed, so it lost me a little bit of time at there, I think. But yeah, be careful of the arrows. Like, make sure you have your audio up or something. Oh, you can see in the cutscene. Nice. Yeah, be careful of the arrows going back. I usually look back. Okay. So the way I do this fight, I usually run up to the boss first and then buff. Some people buff immediately after the Fall Gate. I think this is probably the more efficient way to do it. Just wait until this, because you're regening stamina anyway. And I am not going to explain this boss because I have a video specifically made to explain this boss. I will put in the iCard right now. If you want this fight broken down thoroughly and explain what can go wrong, etc., go watch that now. The only thing I'll add is that you can actually be attacked by some of the these guys, which I kill now just out of vendetta. There's no reason to kill these guys. They only give you 4 souls. It's literally no reason not to kill them. I just kill them out of spite because they've definitely killed me here and there. It's really annoying. And yeah, that's Fool's Idol. You grab the Archstone for the soul and just to warp back. And then you go to the Maiden, level to 24 magic. And I usually, whenever I'm here, I usually try to position myself a little bit far away from the Maiden. Because if you're far away enough, I hit confirm, and then you make sure that your souls are used up. Because sometimes you actually won't use them, like you just confirm too quickly out. I can usually just roll out of it, have the animation. I don't have to talk to her more. So if you're far away enough, you can roll out of it. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about the very delicate matter that is the Freke skip in 1.0. The Freke skip is a little bit tricky. You have to like go out of bounds into walls and stuff and like have it like raise you to the ceiling. It's really wonky as is, but it's really hard in 1.0. It's a little bit inconsistent even with this method I found to do it setup. So if you do have the disc version, I would actually recommend maybe practicing in current patch first, and then like this skip at least, and then going to the 1.0 and practicing it there after you get the idea of it. But my setup to make it easier is to warp to the upper Latria first. And then warp to the Prison of Hope. For whatever reason, that actually delays the like time you have to like have collision not detect. I'm pretty sure I messed it up here. Yeah, I think it was just a bad call for me, so I just nixed it blind. But yeah, if you were to do the quota that people normally do for like current patch or 1.03 or whatever, like the other setup that people normally do, the collision restarts really quickly, like I said with the Coffin skip. So for whatever reason, if you warp from the Prison of Hope back to from Latria, upper Latria to Prison of Hope, it actually extends that duration. I'm not really sure why. I guess it's just trying to load more assets for some reason, or trying to discard the last ones, whatever. But what's happening here? Let me slow it down. What's happening here is that you want your left shoulder to be clipping with this like cell door, but not too much. So this is probably good right here. You're gonna get boosted up, and once you actually have been boosted up, you want to like move slightly to the right so you can start falling off, but not too much, just a slight bit. And then after you have fallen down, or once you're in the process of doing so, you want to quit out, then reload. And then here, it should ideally be right here in this position. You're gonna be like a little bit to the right of the wall here. So this is like, I think like above the little cell thing we were at, and then a little bit inside. You're gonna move left really quick. You can definitely like mess this up. I'm not entirely sure why, unfortunately. Like, I think maybe you're just like too far forward or too far back. You might like not clip right. But you want to move pretty much straight right, left, and maybe a little bit forward. And you're gonna start falling in a little bit. And then next you're gonna hear this barrel hit. You're gonna wait until this barrel hits. There you go. So you heard that. Once you hear that, you quit out. And you should spawn up here. It may take a few attempts for you to do that. You might, like, if you don't spawn up in the ceiling right away after the barrel hit, you should be put in a position where you're about to fall on top of the barrel again. So you can just wait until you break the barrel one more time. And just keep doing that until you get up here. Sometimes if you see yourself like boosted up immediately after you hit the barrel, maybe just let it boost you real quick and see if you do end up in a ceiling. That works sometimes. But and you actually say, like, if you do that, the barrel won't like reload broken for a little while. Like, I think you have a couple seconds before it reloads broken as is. It kind of reverts time a little bit in that sense. So you can definitely safely retry that once you get past the first bit. Like, after you get past the first quit out, fine, and you hit the barrel, you should be kind of safe to continue. And yeah, let's back a little bit just to catch my run. And then here for the 1.0 routing, I wrote this bit in. So well, here, you're just gonna walk straight forward here, like on this like little lip. You walk too much to the right or to the left, you're gonna fall off. So just in this little lip right here, fall here, go past this, pick up the 4F key, 4th floor key. I usually pick it up a little bit to the left. So I like pick it up here because there's a minefield behind you. So you want to like bait, like run to the right here. Basically just hug the wall or the railing. So this enemy will be drawn to it and you can go around it. And then the magical bit here is that in the I guess I guess in the disc release version of this game, they either forgot or completely missed the fact that there's actually invisible flooring in the 4th floor. At least in this side of the building. I don't think the other side there is. I don't know if they just like forgot it or they're just like, okay, we'll just fix it in day 1 patch and then we can just ship it, whatever. I don't know what the issue was. But yeah, there's invisible flooring here that's not supposed to be there. But because of that, we can actually like go get the ring of magical sharpness, which is in here. Like, you basically made to the side where like you're about to get to Freke. It's in this Iron Maiden. You pick it up and then you go forward to free Freke. I did time it. It does save you time overall if you use it like on Maneaters and Old Monk. So you'd usually kill Sage Freke for it, but like this little invisible flooring is pretty good. And it makes Maneaters like faster, and also Old Monk. Both really fast. So yeah, and then go past here. I usually menu here, take off my Crescent Moon grass or whatever, my fire buff, and I put on the sharpness ring. Because that's just time you have to use. You can use for menuing. Pick up the Edge Spice here. Free Sage Freke. To avoid his dialogue, try to like talk to him a little bit from like go a little bit like around. If you talk to him like here, you will usually trigger his dialogue instead of opening the cell. So maybe you want to like go around, maybe face the cell directly, or maybe from this corner. Otherwise, you're gonna talk to him real quick. And yeah, just talk to him until he gives you the little Jerry Stiletto and then Nixie Bind. Because you don't need the souls anymore. I don't have mine because I already Nixie Bind once because I messed up the skip the first time, but. And then here, yeah, just talk to Sage Freke, get the Soul Ray spell and equip it. You unequip Fire Toss, Flame Toss, what it's called. And then go to Maneaters, go back to the Upper Latria. So yeah, I think that skip might be one of the roughest for 1.0 specifically. I definitely understand if you don't want to do this just because of that. Like, it honestly triggers me so hard sometimes that I don't get it right away. But hey, you know, if you're willing to learn it and like learned to do it fairly reliably. It's definitely a quick route. Not much to do here, just stamina manage, and then here pick up these fresh spice. You get 6 of them. That's pretty good pickup. Even if I optimize, I might just leave that in. And then yeah, keep going up. You know, hug the inner circle. That's the least distance you have to travel. And then for 1.0 speedruns, you can do the the skip of this, the heart, where you can like face through one of these like torches or whatever. You can do that skip if you want as well. But I timed it, and I'm pretty sure this like old skip that was found originally is faster by a good few seconds. But if you prefer doing the other one, feel free. Just remember that the Colossus restarts a lot faster, so it might be a little hard to clip through the torch right away. But yeah, so I'm actually doing the very original heart skip for the Maneaters. This one. Okay, I'll give a few tips here. It's not too hard. There's a time when actually I was struggling to get it down again, like I just kind of lost touch of what I was supposed to do, but basically what you want to do is just have the camera positioned like where I have it, but like maybe just a stick forward. Just copy like the camera positioning. Basically you want to have your camera like pretty good into the wall, and then kind of run into the wall, like but at a slight angle so you can walk along the outer rim of this. If you find yourself you're falling, your camera's probably turned a little bit too far to the left, so you're kind of just like running off because you like bounce against one of the pillars or something. I think that's the main thing I can give. I guess just, I don't know, like it's not the hardest skip ever, but it's definitely sometimes easy to just like keep falling left and right if you don't do it like the right way. If you if you find that you actually fell and need to like start doing the skip like midway, like you reload here, I would recommend waiting a second, maybe like run this, like start running against the wall here, and then like do the skip at full speed. That way you don't like just bounce off of a pillar. Like it's almost like you started the skip from the beginning. Yeah, I don't know what else I can give at the moment. Like, you know, I definitely had issues with it, but it's just kind of a matter of readjusting my camera, learning what I was doing wrong, practicing a little bit, seeing what I was. Yeah. For this guy, be careful of this little paralysis. You actually want to bait that, and then you want to bait this explosion, and then run either at him or away from him, but you got to be running to take a counter hit, or whatever you call this, the stability hit, whatever it is.
Just remember this.
That will
Good.
Cause you to be exactly in clever rat range. Well, not exactly, but a little bit into clever rat range. And then yeah, here's Maneaters. I will also not discuss this fight too much in depth because I have a video for it. I'll link it right now. I guess one thing I could discuss that I didn't in the video is that the sharpness ring, if you have it in your route, which I do in mine, it definitely adds quite a bit of damage. You do 300 per attack, and it saves you I think 2 hits per Maneater. And with how random they are, it's definitely really nice to have like them die quicker. So usually what I do is like after I like fully deplete my mana bar, I'll use the old spice, and then once the first one is dead, I'll use a fresh spice because I will be using like 2 more basically, but you don't need all of one, and then punish. And then here I just, you know, get closer to this item because I'm picking it up soon, but you know, I try to kill him first. And yeah, pick up the Moon Short Sword. That's what you need for this route. You don't get the Crescent Falchion in this one for reasons I'll explain later. You do need to equip it. I don't remember if I did. I might have not. And then this full moon grass is very nice to have. I think it's more or less like a guarantee or mandatory grass, I think, at least for now. And yeah, touch the Archstone and reload. I guess I'll link it now. I do have a video for Old Monk as well. and I will link that now. And that explains why you do this, but I guess I can also mention it. So the reason I do this in my routing is because you want to reload the area so you get pure white tendency for Old Monk. It makes the boss way easier. But also, for some reason, only reloading doesn't quite set up pure white. At least on 1.0. Maybe it's different in the other versions, but you actually do have to die afterwards as well. So I just take a quick dip to the gravity here. Gravity, let it do its job. I take out my clothes to set up Clever a little bit faster with the centipedes. I used to think that was only to set up Clever faster, and maybe it was, but you do kind of have to anyway. So pick up those souls right there. You're gonna need them a little bit later. And like I said, I have a tutorial for this entire segment. I won't go too in depth. I'm pretty sure I do that to this guy though. Be careful with the jumping attacks. Is what I would say. I don't know why I picked that up. This is dumb, but. So taking one tail attack is good, and then blocking the second one is good. Wait, why did I die? Wait, what? Why? Didn't I have a really slow Old Monk in my PB? I don't remember. What? I'm so confused. Anyway. Yeah, watch out for their jumping attack. You can roll them, but I actually recently found out they has a double hit. The stupid jumping attack they do has a double hit, so it can catch you, unfortunately. Those two you can kill with one soul ray. So yeah, it's definitely wonky. So H-Bice. You can also pick up the items there, you know. Lately I've equipped my armor there, because you got some time. Hit the Old Monk. Again, video. And the card. Right here, this thing. Click it. Just bait him to chairs. that's the big thing if you couldn't tell. You haven't watched the video, but. Oh, this is why I lost time to him, I guess. I thought I died. No, I guess I just lost time to this guy being annoying. Anyway, so yeah, after you kill him with magic, the soul ray is faster. His death animation is a lot faster, so you might want to end it with that. I'd have to end it with melee. But yeah, after that, you pop all the souls you got, every single one. You should already use your full Zyto spell, so you don't need to be careful with that. Maneaters soul doesn't even give you any spells. And yeah, all the other two ones are yeah. Oh, let me mention one thing that I do for optimizing, which I got from the original Demon Souls. If you like walk into the Archstone while interacting it, you'll cancel a lot of like the dialogue and like the wait time you have to do after touching it. And also mashing X will like hurry up the like dialogue you get sometimes. Anyway, Maiden, 32 magic, 25 int. She will be in a random place now, unlike the other time, so she may not be that nice and be right here where she was right now. She's very sweet for being there, but she won't always be there. Learn Homie Soul Arrow and equip it. You don't need to unequip anything. You would normally kill Sage Freke here, like I was saying, and take his ring of magical sharpness, but we don't need it. We already have it. Pick up this Royal Lotus. No, Noble's Lotus. Oh, it changed your name. I didn't even notice that. Noble's Lotus. It used to be called Royal's Lotus. You'll need it later. Here, I mean, there's this little skip coming up, but I mean, just follow where I'm going, I guess. And we're gonna do a little skip here, which is called like the Chasm Skip, I think it's called. Chasm, quit out, drop, skip, quit out, skip. Any of the above. I'll show how you do in a second, but. Okay, so what I do, my little setup, which I think I might have just like learned from some clips of some other people doing, is I stand like below this little like break in the wood planks and then walk like at a fairly sharp angle like this, kind of like in this line. You can actually also like walk normally. You don't have to slow walk. You can just like just walk normal speed, not run, just normal speed or slow walk. I think both work fairly well. And I think ideally what happens is that you like slide a little bit in like the bottom of the slope. That's probably what's gonna slow your death. I think it's a little bit of there. And then once you hear your character grunt, quit out, There should be some leeway because this game doesn't like immediately kill you. Or even if you do die sometimes, your HP reaches 0, the game doesn't like instantly close your menu, so it's pretty broken. I'll maybe try to get some footage of how the slope kind of works without the quit out menu because it's so in the way. Yeah, if you did it right, you should be down here. And all you gotta do is kick this now and then go to the fog, of course. I would have Soul Ray ready going up here because you're gonna need it for some enemies ahead. Usually roll this guy. Didn't do too good of a job, but I push these guys out of the way by rolling as well. And then kill these two with Soul Ray. It's just better because you can arrange them with that. This guy might block you sometimes. If he does, you can just reload or wait for him to like move out of the way. What do you call? There's some Full Moon Grass here. This might be a little bit optional, but I still get them for now. And then now that you have Soul Ray, the OP combo you're going to be using from now on is more or less just hold me Soul Arrow, Soul Ray. Hold me Soul Arrow, Soul Ray. Hold me Soul Arrow, Soul Ray. For the most part. Maybe not always. Sometimes you only use Soul Arrow, but that should be like the combo for the most part. I think the last one missed there, so it just messed up. And then here, I personally usually reload the area because so I don't waste resources. Like, you don't need to, I'm pretty sure. But if you reload there, your mana and HP are back to normal, so I don't have to use any of my shit. That's pretty neat. And then we got another little skip coming up. So all you gotta do is drop down to this slip right here, where I'm trying to drop on safely. I slip, but didn't quite work out, but it was okay. I think actually like just spawn there though. Oh, maybe not quite. Okay, so I drop down again, just there. And then I usually like run in, like not run, I walk into the wall so I can have like top speed and then just sharply turn right so I can land here. And then just kind of run into the wall there so I can cross this gap and then roll down. That's not the most tricky skip. It's fairly simple, especially compared to like the original Demon Souls version of this skip. Much simpler. You got a lot of time to quit out if you mess it up. And well, I mean, by the time you hit the second ledge, even if you fall, you shouldn't die. So let me quickly discuss like the toggling I'm doing. If you didn't know, watch my stamina bar as I toggle. So you can see that's regenerating it a little bit as I run. I've seen some people do like a running attack, like every couple seconds, and that's how they traverse. That might actually be faster. I haven't tested it yet. I've been meaning to, but I haven't yet. If you see someone else do it and you try it or whatever and find it is faster, maybe I'll comment it if I try it later. And say it is faster. Feel free to do that if you want. Yeah, I need to test it for sure, but yeah, for now, just do the toggling. Oh, here. Let me just kind of backtrack a little bit. Okay, so I mean, I guess it's a lot easier to see in this version of the swamp. It's not too hard to just tell where I'm going. Just aim for these two items, I guess. Or this one at least. And then next item you're gonna want is that one over there, by where the red lady spawned. That's our actual spawn, by the way. So if you quit out, that's not gonna help you. You're trying to get the cat ring. Yeah, the running attack gives you a quick little burst of speed with a straight sword, so that's why people do it. Even if just to get out of danger, it's pretty good to do. Good luck dealing with her. She's really dangerous. If she tries to attack you, definitely try to outspace her with a running R1 like that, kind of like how I just did. If you're too close, if you still need to get the cat ring, do not quit out. It's not gonna be worth it. If you think you're screwed, one thing you could do also, which I don't have any reference, I don't think, in this video, but you can actually do a quit out. Like if you know you're gonna get hit by her, open your menu and be ready to quit out. And then if you hear yourself die, like you hear your character scream, quit out. That should actually put you at full HP. That's kind of a broken thing you can do in this game. Yeah. So Thief Ring now. I mean, I don't think there's any other little tips I can give. Oh yeah, I usually equip it as I pick it up. I guess I just forgot here. So I usually pick up the ring and immediately put it on. At least for the way I do it in 1.0. I'll describe that in a second. Yeah, keep doing the toggle thing. If you're gonna follow my routing, which I would recommend, so you're starting out, put it on now. Oh, you probably noticed, but I actually use a full moon grass like right before the red lady, the phantom, the black phantom. Call her Shrek sometimes. Getting out of the swamp. And that should say have enough HP for later. So if you've seen some other runs like current patch and stuff, they usually go like this way and cross the village as you normally do, like in the normal speedrun. But in 1.0, there's actually an exclusive bug where you can actually phase through like the big barricades that are blocking your way. I mean, how to see them, I guess. Trying to pause. So these barricades that divide the areas of the swamp, you can actually cross them by quitting out. I think depending on where you quit out, you may need to go into cinematic mode or you may not. You actually don't need to in the skip I'm going to do soon. I found that recently. I've been doing cinematic this whole time. You don't actually need to. But yeah, let's get back to that. Yeah, basically where you want to aim for is after the last little slug, I think. Yeah, after this one, go past this little wood thing and then go straight to like this fire. It's more or less what I aim for. But like, I'm aiming for this plank right here in the middle, this barricade bit. So go straight there, do whatever speed method you're doing for the swamp. I wish you could get sword and ring easily, that'd be great, but... Yeah, so quit out here. Again, you don't need to do cinematic mode, I only learned that like, I think this week or last week, where I'm recording this. And you can just walk through this little thing right here. And you're like almost at the end of the little village. So you're gonna be here where you can like climb up. If you're in CRR already, definitely use the Royal Lotus here. And if you're in cinematic, just switch back. We don't need to. So these are the scariest enemies, and thankfully it's the only one you have to deal with. Because the other method, oh right, so the other way that people usually do, because they can't do the skip in the later patches. I tested both of them from the same spot. They take about the same amount of time, in-game time, but I prefer this route because it's much safer. Like having to deal with only these two and maybe like a couple more goblins, as opposed to like the whole village is. Ooh, I love it. I love it so much. It's much better compared to yeah stuff. And if you want, you can even like soul ray or something. I don't know. You do what you want. I'm doing a soul running R1 here to make sure they don't actually like do the like the flipping, like the wild arm attack. It's a little risky, but I prefer that over getting hit by that attack, that combo. I do another one here. This goblin, the poison one, is being annoying, so I go around instead of forward, but... And then yeah, you're gonna equip the Clever Rat as you switch the Fog Gate. And have your wand out, have Somi Soul Arrow, maybe Full Moon if you get caught by flies. So here, what I'm aiming for here is to break this little like wood thing he has here in his hand, and then his little wood things here. Be careful not to break this, the other arm. How the fight go? Let me see first. Okay. Soul Arrow, then Soul Ray. Okay, I didn't break it. I'll explain why in a second. Okay, this fight wasn't too clean, it seems. Okay. So the reason you want to break the wooden arm, this one, is because if you do that, you'll have like random flies sporadically attack you. Well, kind of. If you break it within 2 seconds or so after breaking it, you'll get attacked by a cluster of flies from his head or so. They'll shoot at you, and since you're in Clever Rat range, that is very dangerous. So if you do see that you break it, which you can't break with Soul Ray, by the way, so In my tech here, with this soul ray, I could have broken his arm from the other side. So just like keep an eye, maybe wait a second and see if you have to like strafe the flies coming at you before you attack again. But even after that, you can definitely get attacked randomly by flies after a while, so that's how I fight the boss. It's proven consistent enough after he gave me a lot of grief a while back. And it's been nice. I don't think I've had trouble with him in a while. Oh, one more thing. There's 2 attacks that are really good openers that I would recommend like going for. If he does one specific attack, I would recommend maybe quitting out real quick. The fly attack, which I think is what he does here. Yeah, this one, the shotgun fly, that's a good attack. And the like side sweep attack is also good. You can punish that and break these things. If he does the slam with his meaty hand that like causes like a cluster of flies to cover a little bit of the area, I would recommend quitting out, because that will make it to where sometimes these spells won't actually hit him. Like it'll just like get blocked by these flies, and that's really annoying. Like I wouldn't even recommend dealing with it. Just quit out real quick. It's the opener, so you only lose like 10 seconds, I think. Anyway, so oh yeah, by the way, for the Leechmonger, you actually do need to touch the soul at least, the Archstone. And then for this one as well, you do want to touch the Archstone. And then here, definitely use the half moon I got earlier and maybe the H spice. If you want to use 2 fresh spice, go ahead. I use just the old spice. And you don't need to reload. I actually recommend not doing so. This is the way I fight it. But yeah, so oh crap. I guess with the so you want to have around half HP. A little bit more and a little bit less is okay for what we're doing in a second. But definitely around there. If you're too low or too high, it might be bad. And then for mana, you want to have at least 110 FP, I think it was. I think I'm like maybe a bit short, so I think I do use a fresh spice later. For what you got going. I think here I might have had a little bit too low of HP as well. Actually, it might be okay. We'll see, I guess. Yeah, I definitely noticed that the fresh spice is a little low, so I think definitely do this all and before the fog gate though. You want to have this fight be very consistent. So I would recommend regenning stamina and then start running around here. Try to get this lizard out of the way. And then roll, like maybe regen a little bit if you need to, but roll here. Try to roll past the babies. Do running attack here at the end of this thing. Switch out the Widow's Lotus. And then here you're gonna heal yourself really quick from the Plague. And then Homing Soul Ray or Soul Ray. Homing Soul Ray or Soul Ray. And then after that you do a Full Moon Grass, pop your souls, touch the Archstone, pop the soul after you touch the Archstone, and then warp away. Okay, this is very tight, okay? So I'm sure that was very like... That was very confusing if you're just trying to learn what's happening. Definitely slow the video down, I think, if you want to see every little step. So essentially what you want to do here is beat Gar of Inland to a race to the Maiden. By killing it first before he gets to you. You might have seen people fight this boss differently in the current patch and some other routes, glitchless and all that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure you can't do that in 1.0 because Gar is much more aggressive in 1.0. He's like in the original Demon Souls in this version of the game, of the remake, just 1.0 version. So I'm pretty sure I haven't done that. You can do that. I haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure I have died doing this strat if I'm just a tad too slow. So if you want to do that strat, only do it for like current patch and glitchless. For this one, you might have to learn this. And I do actually have a video for this as well, but for like the original Demon Souls, and it's very similar. The only difference is that you don't use the half moon to heal after you do the homing soul arrows or whatever. I don't think you can do that strat either way, so I would just get the Widow's Lotus. There's also some Widows before the fight, just in the rock. That's like the ladder, so you can get those too if you want. I just think it's faster to get the other ones. But yeah, I guess I'll slow this down and explain. Okay, well, I heal here because I realized I probably don't have enough mana. Start running here. I think it's a little bit early. I maybe should have started later. But you do want to start running around here because Garo is going to start aggroing you soon. Like, I want to say maybe he's already aggroed now when you get to around this area. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, careful of the lizard. You can already hear him aggroed right now. But yeah, roll between these four, like just in the middle of them, like between these two, just roll. If you roll well, you should get past the plague babies. Even if you don't, you might be able to roll again here, past them, hopefully. You shouldn't be able to roll again, so just careful. And then here, stay one-handed and do the running attack right after, like around the time you're in the rock. Switch out to the Widow's Lotus. Or if you want to switch out before the Fog Gate, you can switch out after or before that if you don't want to like be that tight. I'm just a daredevil. And then slowly make your way there. You can't run, unfortunately. And then yeah, once you're in land, you should probably heal. And then homing soul arrow, soul ray, you know, that kind of thing. I do walk forward a little bit here because, you know, Garo is coming up on me. That's just to make sure I do make it. But it should be okay, I think, for the most part. Oh, also be careful not to cast the spell too close to the wall. So, like, not too far here. Because, like where my chat is. Because you can definitely, like, have this homing soul arrow. Little bulbs, like, hit the wall and disappear. That'll be bad. Oh yeah, and then do the pop the soul. You can pop the soul when it gets to the Nexus. It doesn't matter. I just do it there because it's faster. And then level with the Maiden. For safety, I do 2 points to Vit and then the rest of the magic. 45 magic is okay. It's good enough. Maybe it's not even necessary to get more than that for even if you optimize. Maybe put into endurance if you want. But I get 2 HP for Lava Skip, which I've been okay at recently. Maybe I don't have to do it anymore, but safety. I just want a sub 40. I don't care. Listen, I'm only gonna go for sub 40. If any of you want to come for me, come and get it. Come get a world record soon. I'll probably come back and try to get it back, but I'm definitely only aiming for sub 40, and then after that I'll switch over something else for a while. It was definitely a rough route. Okay, and then here I usually just do this. Like you can like soul raid the pots from behind, but it's really weird. Like I don't know, these pots are not as nice as the ones in the original Demon Souls. So I usually just run attack and try to kill the dogs. And then here is a quick little warped that you can do. I'll show it first before I explain it. Looks like it take a little time to set up. Not too fast, but did I make it right? I swear to God I didn't make it. I'm gonna be so annoyed. Because I picked this round because I was pretty sure I got all the skips, more or less. Okay. Woo! I was about to get triggered at myself. Anyway, okay. So the idea here is that you want to actually land on top of the lever. I could probably aim a little bit more to the right in all honesty and just fall like on top of it and then just kind of fall off of it. But if you like kind of like land in like this little area, you're technically not touching the ground because you're still on top of the model of the lever. And since lever's not necessarily stable ground, even though you can land on it, like it's a mechanism, like it'll warp you back up to the top basically. So this looked very risky. Like I think I might have been okay, but I wasn't sure, so I definitely waited a second. If you don't do this, you lose like 20 seconds, so it's really annoying. I should probably learn a slightly better setup. But yeah, so that's the idea. So the reason I specifically picked this is because this guy can hit you from there. I just kind of choose it for safety. And then line up with this brick. And try to be like in the left half of it or something. But maybe that was too far. Or no, I think maybe my angle is what's off. Like maybe I angled it too far or too much like that. Yeah, that might have been it actually. Maybe. I don't know. Or no. I think I'm too forward, I think that's what it is. Maybe both. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I do, just because this guy won't hit me if I do it like that. I've definitely seen a couple of setups. If you have your own, you've heard to use it, of course. It's just a little hard to practice this because you obviously want to land on top of the lever. And like if you pull it and you find out you didn't do it, it's like, well, awkward. But I guess you don't have to actually pull it. Just you have an idea of what you need to do. Yeah, cross the fog gate, of course. Cast Water Veil, and then I would recommend topping off. Oh, this is so risky. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, what I do here is I try to line up with this like top staircase. I think maybe this one's a little bit too far to the right. Or no, I think I maybe angled it. Maybe both. But I think I usually try to go like in between this top stair and then like this in the middle of this. And then roll off. And just like spam roll and try to get over here to the stair. It's such a weird skip. Like I couldn't like explain to you exactly what I do to like guarantee that you'll do it. Like it's stuff wonky. A lot of people like to go here and like do it from there. Honestly, that might be worse because I think you might take damage from the lava faster, even if you like roll it or something. Like I don't know. Whenever I try to do that for safety, quote unquote, I die more so. I haven't died doing it like this, like in the original, in a while. So I guess try both. I personally think this might actually be safer, even though it might not seem like it. And yeah, just try to get a feel for it. If you need more HP, feel free to get it, by the way. Like the more HP the better. It definitely like is like very set damage. It's very easy with really high HP once you have Water Veil. But yeah, you do also want Clever Rat, or I guess if you don't have to, like Spider is pretty easy. But if you didn't take full damage from them, like you used to have over Clever Rat, you could just take a hit from this guy, the Fat Official, the Fireball. Actually toggle escape it if I need to. By the way, toggle escapes are if you get hit but you're mashing like the left or right D-pad to like toggle your weapon, basically you override the animation of you taking a hit, like taking the stagger with the change animation. For some reason that overrides, like that takes priority. So you basically like reset your animation with the toggle escape. That's what it is. Get this Crisp Blade that adds damage to your magic just by having it out. So just have it all times, more or less. You really don't need the Moon Short Sword anymore, I don't think. I usually cast Water Veil and like Refresh Spice there just because, you know, I'm waiting there, like not much to do. Just in case I get hit by one of these fireballs. I don't know if it'll kill me either way, I just cast it. There's no reason not to cast it. But yeah, if you have Crisp Blade, Clever Rat, Sharpness Ring and all that, like you should one-shot the boss. If you don't want to be risky, because Spider is a little bit weird sometimes, or if you're not confident in rolling their attacks, running up the tunnel, just stay at full health. You should two-shot it. And then careful with this first guy. Let him break this if you want to be safe. You can maybe block it too, but I don't know, just it's fine. Equip the cat ring as I did earlier, and then you're gonna drop all the way to the bottom here. All you need to hear is like your character scream. There you go. So once you hear your character scream, you should quit out immediately. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple character escape. You do have you will die a little bit quickly though. I actually died one time, like actually while doing the skip the other day. It was pretty annoying. So be quick about it as soon as you hear it. Oh, there is a full moon grass right here if you want to take it, and there's a stone of Emerald right there if you want it as well. But yeah, here, so just to have something to do as I want to do something and then equip the Clever Rat, I usually fresh spice there. So to get a little bit of mana back. And while I do that, I usually put on the Clever Rat. Because there's a cutscene in this fog, so I can't really equip it there. I mean, I could maybe, but just not as burdensome. Do I find it risky or safe? I think safe, right? Yeah. Yeah, so usually here if I'm a Clever Rat, if I want to be safe and not too fast, I usually like try to like run at him and then bait him into doing an attack. The swipe is really good as long as I dodge it. And then cast it. If he starts being really jumpy like that, I'll like turn around and like... So if you turn around, homie soul arrow won't actually fire. Because it only looks for targets like in front or to the sides of it. If you're like straight behind something or like faced away from something, it won't fire. So if I ever need to like close a gap, that's what I do. I like turn around, then backstep towards him. Yeah, so if he starts hopping to sides, I usually just do this until I see him not hop anymore. Or maybe see if he's gonna stop. And yeah, so that's Flamelurker. If you fight him at full HP, that's not too bad either. You can fight all these bosses in full HP in all honesty. Okay, let's talk about the Dark God, like Pillar Skip. So here, if I want to be a little bit safe, I usually like top off right at the fog gate. I might have quit out there too early. I don't think I'm actually gonna get the heal. But here at the fog gate, you want to switch to cinematic mode. Quit out, switch to cinematic mode. Yeah, I'm not that off there. Okay. Okay, and then run kind of at a slight angle so you can like go over here and like cross this corner really quick. So right here, just take the straight line right here basically. If you run a little bit too much in front of his line of sight, he might actually like start punching. So yeah, just take that like pathing as that I just did, just kind of like a little bit angled here and then just like zoop. And you should be able to face through these with the cinematic mode. I would also regen stamina a little bit, just a tiny bit here, and then roll like right there, right here, because he'll definitely like try to grab. And just for safety, I almost always roll, unless if I'm certain I'm not gonna get hit. And then just for safety, I usually I cast Water over here. I'm pretty confident in Dragon God these days, but like I just want to get a PB, I'm pretty sure. Like heal, then use Water Veil. You don't need to, but yeah. And then either Water Veil or when you hit the switch are both good times to switch back to performance. If you want. I guess technically you could run the Soul Game in cinematic, but yeah. Roll off here. Make sure to be two-handed before you fall off. Be very efficient with your stamina here. Try to only have enough to where you can like break these. And if you did it well, you should be okay and get past without getting hit. Water Veil is there. If you're full HP in Water Veil, you should be able to survive one of the Dragon Breaths. And you can heal after that if you want to be safe again. Normally I'm pretty consistent at Dragon God, but yeah, like I said, I want to be safe. I'm ahead. Took me a little while to get this PB, so. And everyone here, if you have enough mana, just summon Solar and then drop. And that's it. I was just camping here for a little bit later for the next boss. And then here, if you want to use your levels for like more HP or more magic, whatever, endurance, you can go back to Nexus if you want. But I'm done here with leveling, so I go to Storm King directly. These guys are pieces of shit. Like the strategy I told you about, like quitting out. Like if you have your menu up as you die, you can definitely abuse that in this area. That's really nice. And even if you're bleeding, that actually helps you up pretty well for Clever Rat. I see a lot of people do that. I definitely recommend quitting at this fog though, if you're getting overwhelmed, for sure. Yeah, so the quick little, the famous 4-1 skip, you perform that, is still here in the game. The regen ring goes right there, the item I just passed by if you want it for some reason. I don't really find it worth it myself, I don't think. And then go up here, and then there's this little skip that you may or may not know about. It's not possible in current patch, so. I'm actually pretty consistent these days. So I think Dist prefers actually going through a level almost entirely normally without the little 4-1 skip and doing this, because he finds this very inconsistent. At least he did. Maybe 1.03 is a little bit less inconsistent or more consistent, but it actually got pretty good at it. I usually get it first or second try now. So what you want to do is like, let me see, slow down. What I want to do is like go to the wall and then kind of like wedge into yourself against the wall, and then like just go around here to like the white outline. Maybe not too far like that. Or yeah, actually yeah, like wedge yourself in between like the wall and here, just so you're stuck, and then try to like break out and then go around like that, and then kind of like wiggle around, like zigzag a little bit up and down or side to side. I find that really works for me. Like I said, I've gotten it pretty good at it, which is nice. And yeah, and then here you want to drop here to a little lip, but so yeah, I want to drop here, but do not face the wall as you quit out. Face sideways or away from the wall, because if you reload there, you're gonna soft lock. Like actually soft lock. You can't do anything. The only thing you can do is PS plus 4, but I mean you can't even do those in 1.0. I'm pretty sure. Well, you can do them to Nexus, I think, but that's it. And then yeah, and then here when you roll off, I found that I sometimes die when I roll off here. I think it's maybe if I roll too far to the right here. So maybe roll a little bit more centered, like this way, or maybe wait a second. Is what I recommend. Okay, that's a pretty solid skip. Okay, so the skip the Stomp Cane. I think I drew a diagram at some point, showing like helping a friend try to get the skip down. I'll probably show that on screen in a second, but what you want to do here, well, let me show you first. Just what you do or what happens. Yeah, so you quit out here once you hear the scream. You have to have cat ring. Reminder. Yeah, you're gonna spawn on here. It's very similar to the old hero skip in the original, but it's a lot faster because you don't have to get to old hero. Okay, so what you want to do is I sometimes get this angle off. I have to like quit out before I hit anything. So roll there. I tried to roll so where I'm close to this cliff, but do not touch it or land on top of it. If you see you're gonna land on top of it, quit out immediately, like on it immediately, because you're gonna have to reset the whole thing next you bind. Because if you touch this and land on it, you're gonna be stuck there. Now you can't do the skip anymore. But I try to make it so where I'm close to it. Like you see, I barely dodge it. But yeah, and then I should barely dodge these two. Basically, the reason why it's a very specific angle is that there's... I can't see him. I guess I'll put this picture now on screen. There is a bunch of rocks here that can soft lock you the exact same way. If you land inside the rocks or like spawn inside the rocks, you're gonna soft lock as well. And what happens when you soft lock is that you're basically like stuck in a screen where your character doesn't even rise up. I think it's like stuck or something. And you can't even like use an exit bind or anything. You can't do anything. You can only PS plus warp. So yeah, I'll show that diagram if I can find it now, and just show like where you want to land more or less. So if you need to like see where you're about to land, kind of how I do a little bit here, but not that much. Maybe wait a little bit before you hit the quit out menu and then start quitting out just to see where you're gonna land. That should be a decent enough visual reference. Okay, and then here, one last little warning, because it can also kind of soft lock you a little bit. You can bind out of it, but it's definitely not good. So I would recommend here, like, there's gonna be some phasing in and out. So like, I would recommend like waiting here at the top of the rock until the thing respawns, and then aim there where I just rolled off. So like, right here, try to aim to roll here. If you like land on here or here, you're gonna get stuck and have to reload. And if you reload, you're probably gonna end up being stuck in some rocks again. Not soft lock this time, but you are gonna have to next to bind again. So yeah, aim here, where I'm kind of rolling. It's a little bit tight, but it's so annoying. I actually had lost run to that earlier. But yeah, so that's where you should aim. Clever Art is kind of optional here for this fight. I definitely take it because I'm a little speedy boy. Really risky speedy boy. So to get the big one to aggro, you need to kill 6 of these, but you actually dispatch all of them in the current way you fight them. You definitely can fight them faster. I've seen people do a very much more risky strat for this boss to kill him faster. I don't feel like I'm never anywhere near that yet, so I don't. I just kill them all. Metallica, kill them all, 1983. What? But I do set up Clever Rat. I'm only one hit away from the mana ray, so... Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't set up this time. No, I did, yeah. Let this guy hit me and then... Or not, I killed him. Like an idiot. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just kept it. Well, I mean, I just healed, I guess. Yeah, so try to kill them all. And then stand here where this little item is, of course. You're probably still gonna have to dodge these, like, if you see one that's gonna get really close to you, like from the left, you should definitely, like, dodge them. Even if you're dodging into the rock. I've seen people do gestures to avoid this. That might work too. I just haven't, like, really looked into it yet or tried it. I'm very bad at practicing this stuff sometimes, so... I haven't, like, done anything like that. And then I try to be careful with these two because, like, they can definitely home on you and, like, kill you, so... So what I do here is, like, after I get rid of those, I go here and then, like run to the right and then roll. Because I have actually been killed by just running away from them. And these are consistent, by the way. Like, maybe the ones on the left are very inconsistent, but, like, usually they're okay. Those 3 on the right are very consistent. Yeah. So yeah, so as early as you can, try to aim for the body. With a crisp blade out and everything, whatever you got for damage. And kind of like move sideways and maybe a little bit back and forward to like hit him a bunch with Soul Ray. You have enough time to get like 6 hit in. Like if you miss 1 or 2, it's not that bad, but you know, be careful. And yeah, next goodbye once you see the Demon Destroyed message. Chaz became very excited because it's the farthest I've made it like all fucking stream, I'm pretty sure. Man, I've been struggling with Storky's been one of my biggest run killers. It's really bad. So and I'm a minute ahead, yeah, hell yeah. No wonder. I wish I could get a minute ahead these days in my current run, but it's really hard. Yeah, so for some reason I find this dragon very consistent sometimes. Let me see what I do here. Like I worked to the right place immediately, right? Lord's Path, yeah. Dynamax Maiden Time, oh my god, Hugh. Missed that. Hate that I'm reading that now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this exact pathing in my last run that made it this far and I was fine. Fuck this dragon, man. Well, if you want to keep an eye on it, you can definitely like see where he's at, like I'm now. And just kind of like roll back. He might hit you with his leg. He didn't roast me, he just hit me with his leg. It's annoying. Some people Waterville for this guy, I definitely... Psh, psh. Imagine eating water. No, screen. No, it's a legit strat. I just don't do it because it's a very cycled, like, Oh. Oh yeah, imagine eating watermelon. What a noob. Goes to cast watermelon. Fantastic. I just want the PB, okay? Don't judge me. I haven't PB'd in like a week and a half. Imagine not PBing for a week and a half. I know that's a joke, by the way. I know I have an unfair advantage having run the original Demon Souls for like 2 years. I should probably actually explain this a little bit. So, I mean, I guess what I can explain is like I try to like have it to where like this dragon is roasting now, and then I roll to these guys in the center, and then I run, you know, try to avoid those enemies. Roll at the end here. Try to roll the fire or the enemies both. And then here I put in a thief ring. Then roll this guy. The dragon should be roasting the previous segment of the bridge now. Roll through this. Go in between these guys. Yeah. I can't explain to you the cycle as much in this version of the game. I haven't like really nailed it as much as the original, unfortunately. And I don't think transition warps are a thing. So. One thing I can say for the Tower Knight though is careful with spear. Not from like damage, but like say if you're standing to the right of him, like over here, his spear can actually block your homing solar. It's so annoying. I'm pretty sure that thing was in the original. So definitely stand like to this side of him. His shield will also block it, of course. So try to like have your soul masses and soul ray or whatever you do like land somewhere that's gonna hit. The spear is really fucking annoying. It's awful. I fresh face here since I'm not gonna reload area. Some people do, I don't. I guess since you already touch it, it's not that bad to do so, but eh. I usually don't need HP or fresh price that much at this point. Oh, and rip the 1-3 skip, bro. 1-3 skip was so good. I miss it so much. I've been like trying to find a different version of, and I've found some interesting stuff, but nothing yet that will give me past this stupid gate. I miss it so much. I usually quit out here. I'll explain why in a little bit. It's not just because of these enemies, but it is partly because of that. So these enemies will spawn behind you if you reload here. So you don't have to like kill them. Quick. Oh, I forgot about that. So, and that little ledge right here that was roll past, there's some full moon grass. Right here. Down. If you want more, there you go. Jesus, look at my health. And because of course I'm greedy, I want to stay in clever at. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna use the small heals instead of full moon. Some people go, by the way, some people go like after they go here, they go into a ladder here. Because Demon Souls ladder speed is faster in the remake rather than the original, like that might be faster, that might be around the same. I don't know. I don't care. I just go this way. I feel like some people might not know this is here. You just roll backwards and you're like at the same spot. Although some people do like to get the new moon grass that's in that side of the stairs. There's like 6 of them, so that's nice, but I don't need them at this point. Yeah, kill these guys. Chad making fun of me not watching movies. Shut the fuck up. Oh, so the part of the reason I quit out here, so this guy's cycle will be like have him like right at the back of the room. It's definitely nicer to have him in view before you get there. Oh, by the way, have thief ring on. BT dubs. Have thief ring on like pretty much since. Well, yeah, I guess you already had it on. I mean, you should already have it on. Oh, here you can do this, but I've seen people like do something similar to like the 1-1 boulder where they stand here and do the same thing. I've done it once, but I haven't really practiced it, so I don't want to just like wing it in a run that's definitely gonna PB. So hence me not doing it here. This guy's a little annoying compared to the other one. I kind of hate this guy. I should try to be safe and like just go around like that. I think I need a little bit more HP for Clever Rat, so I just block it. Yeah, just I guess follow this pathing, and then I'll teach you my magic trick for getting these past this enemy, because a lot of people are scared of them, rightfully so. These knights, they either use soul remains or like go full health and stuff, whatever. So the secret here is that I personally have my shield out. Like I try to have my stamina back up, have my shield out, and then kind of wait here a second if I need to, for them to actually attack me with their spears. It doesn't do like almost any damage, and it bounces them off, and it doesn't cost so much stamina either to block those spears actually. So yeah, that's what I do. Basically what I did there for that one, but for both if I need to. Like I'll just wait. Like I'll see how both of them react. I saw that guy wasn't really doing much, so I just kept going. But you can definitely bounce both of them off. The third one shouldn't be an issue unless they take too long. But yeah, that's my secret for getting past them consistently. So if you can see our this should be a 2-shot. Easy. Easy game. Easy boss. I mean, actually it kind of is, but especially we have magic. This is why I'm saying that maybe the end of 45 is not really necessary, because you probably already do the same amount of number hits to like all the bosses. Yeah, I usually reload here for pure white tendency Allant. I haven't actually tested like the difference in damage, but like hey, an easier Allant, I'll take it. Yeah, so 2 full hits and a block there is good for these guys. If you did reload. I'm being careful of the archer there. I might have not died, but I don't know. I just rolled anyway. Have thiefing, yes, also. You go to the corner of this guy. This guy on top, I usually try to like run at him and bait him. Just for safety. You can also hold me soul arrow. Like once you're at the bottom and have him dive that way. But it takes him a minute to die from the... and let you pass anyway, so... Okay, Dragon's Bridge Cycle. So what happens here, some people definitely can't pick this up, the little details just from watching. So obviously I just kind of like wait and they run a little bit until the first breath. Try to get past them, hope they don't do this attack, but they did. And then stall here a second or two, like 2 seconds, and then start running. That stall is gonna make him roast behind you instead of in front of you. If you don't wait those 2 seconds, it's definitely gonna roast you. Which actually have seen people use that for a clever rat setup. Like if you have full health, I think it might not kill you. Maybe with water veil, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna recommend it right now because I haven't tested it. But yeah, so that's what you do there. And then here for this bit, what I do is I have full stamina by the time I get like here, like between these 2 pillars, like that one and this one, and I start running like here. There used to be a pillar here in the original, so that's what's my reference between that. And then you do want to recover stamina a tiny bit before you make it all the way, because you're gonna run out soon. And with like the base stamina bar, that should be enough. You should be safe. So yeah, that's how you get past those 2. That's definitely one of those things a lot of people don't know the trick for. And then just this guy, I usually just hold me so he can get staggered. You can definitely roll past him, but it's so spooky. I don't like it. I don't like it. Got the lever. Prepare. Fresh spice. Cleverette. Take away names you don't need. Man, my character's breath is just like mine right now. It's so cold right now. If anyone didn't know, I live in Texas, and I was definitely hit by the power outage that happened around the time that I recorded this and probably put this out. Cheshire their Angie with me. How cute. But yeah, so I usually have the H spice like ready there, just in case I do miss one of the swings or one of the homie soul arrows and all that. Make sure your rings are right. That's everything. Make sure everything's good. You have a lot of time to prep here. Just don't. Yeah. Okay, so this is a fairly simplified in theory. All you gotta do is homie soul arrow him. It should only take 4 well placed ones, or even if you miss some of the balls or whatever, like it's still fine. But you can see it's not the cleanest fight, even so far. Like I should be able to kill him with this last one. And then misses again. And this happens, that's good. That attack is really good to punish. Then he does this, I miss again. Then I gotta heal up because I don't have enough mana to do that again. So I do this, and I hit him with some of them, but it doesn't kill him. So I try to cast again, doesn't work. I here's another fresh spice, a slow ray. Sorry, twice, doesn't kill him. Ugh. Yeah, it was a terrible fight. But I'm sure you get the idea. It's definitely rough, like it's very scary. So I don't blame you for not using Clever Eye and stuff. I've seen people do like side rolls instead of like roll through him. I'm used to rolling through him because of the melee route of the original Demon Souls, but maybe I should do a side roll if I can time it. But I need to practice that. If I'm gonna do it, I need to practice. I'm not just about to do it randomly. And yeah, we're pretty much done. Just roll past these little guys. By the old one. So here, I usually cast soul arrow as soon as I cast in, because you know it's gonna fire as I get to him. Cast it again. I do some R2 so I can finish him off, because I don't think the 4 only soul masses alone is enough, so I just R2 him a bit. And yeah, he just dies. No need for CRR, it takes too long to set up. And then here for the 1.0 speedrun, what I recommend doing is actually not Nexio binding, because if you Nexio bind here, you can't do the force quit as well, because you'll actually be kicked straight into New Game Plus. So just hit her and let the cutscene play. If you are unaware, the timer for in-game time stops and you're gonna be put into that cutscene even if you force quit here. So you're basically already determined to be in New Game Plus by the time you hit that cutscene. So you can actually just let the cutscene play and then quit out, or force quit, dashboard quit out to the main menu at your own pace. And then yeah, just go check your time and load game. And yep, I'll say check the time, or one of the ways to check time. I think the only one you can do for 1.0. Yeah, that's it pretty much. I'm actually very proud of how that came out. That turned out really well. I'll explain that run. It's definitely a rough run. Like I think maybe outside of force quit, 80% force quit, this might be the roughest run you can do. And I guess that makes sense because the fastest too. So like, there's a lot of things you got to be able to do, even soft lock potential. I do hope people pick up this run. I'm currently the only 1.0 runner. Like there are some 1.0 quote unquote submissions in the leaderboard, but they're really runs that like just don't have skips that aren't possible. Like the 1-3 skip that I was talking about, that skip is not possible in any version of the game now. It's gone forever. So any run that's submitted with that is like put into a miscellaneous category now, just not part of the regular 80%. Unfortunately, it was kind of just forced our hand. But the runs that are there are technically not 1.0. They're just runs that don't break anything. And they're not the fastest runs either. So it's not like they have any unfair advantages because of being a different patch. So it's fine. But yeah, I'm currently the only 1.0 runner. There's definitely people who have been like practicing it and trying to learn it, but it's definitely rough. Some people might come to it later, is what I see people saying. If they're trying out like glitchless or current patch first. So if you want to do that, feel free. But if you do get to 1.0 eventually, I would let me know this helped. I feel like I did a good job actually. I'm pretty proud of that. A lot of people thought I did a really good job with my like melee 80% commentary for the original Demon Souls. So I hope that was the same for this as well. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or DM me or like ping me into the Speed Souls server. I'm also a verifier, so if you got any questions about that, you can hit me up, I guess, as well. Even though, you know, the rules site is, I mean, I wrote a lot of those rules, so like it should be like, I feel like I'm fairly thorough. Oh yeah, again, like I said earlier, at some point, like you can't do PS Plus warps for 1.0. It's definitely a little bit awkward right now because we're still definitely trying to sort the speedrun leaderboard in some ways. So as far as like that, like currently you can't do any PS Plus warps, as far as I can tell. Or at least I don't know how. Like I've accidentally kind of done a PS Plus warp in a character I already had created. I don't know how to replicate with a character that's freshly made. I've only been able to do it with a character I like dropped, and I don't know what I did, to be honest. So currently you can only do 1.0 with no PS Plus warps. I maybe in the future there will be a way to be found that's consistent to do PS Plus Orbs 1.0. Actually, if anyone wants to test it, see if there's a way to do them, because the only thing you can do right now is warp to the Nexus. If you hit one of those like PS Plus activity cards, you only get warp to the Nexus. That's the only thing that happens. You can't warp anywhere else, which is, I mean, it has some functionality, but you can also just Nexus bind. So it's weird. I don't know. It's awkward. But yeah, I think that's it. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up on the comments. I hope this helped. I hope to see you all on the leaderboard, even if it's for another run. And once again, if you appreciated this video, if it's helpful to you, or you find it educational and really entertaining, consider subscribing. I generally respect people's intelligence if they find the content that they like and would like to come back to. You know, I trust that they'll subscribe on their own, but if you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.